MACT back again with another video for all of you, and this is sort of a repeat with a twist. So watch this video and I'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome back to a MACT video. This is a Mercy Go production.
In this video, we're going to be changing out the power steering fluid again. I'll tell you what I'm going to do in just a minute. Well, viewers, I'm going to change this power steering fluid out, but I am going to do something a little bit different. I have here the Blackstone Oil Analysis Kit. Yes, this has been about 45,000 miles or 9 months worth of use on this power steering fluid, and it's not Mercon V. I know, yeah, I'll put the comments down below, all this other stuff. Max Life ATF fluid in my power steering. No leaks, everything's running good, but with a twist, I'm going to take and I'm going to pull out this first sample and I'm going to put it in this Blackstone test kit and I'm going to mail it off. And we're going to find out exactly what the status is of this Mercon LV in the power steering and what is the health of my power steering fluid. Do I need a new power steering rack, or what do I need to do? Come here, Mom OSHA, say hi. No, she's shy. She almost walked in front of the camera. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull out, get a sample of this, and then I'm going to go ahead through the procedure. Same thing. I'm using the turkey baster routine with a little hose that I bought, a little different this time, and of course we'll be turning it on, flushing it out, and then of course changing it all out, and I'll show you the color change and everything else. That being said, power steering systems are a closed loop system, folks. There is no filter in them, okay? So how do you get the sediment? How do you get the metal particles and everything else out of the system? You have to change the fluid. That is the only way you're going to get those particulates out that are going to start wearing out your power steering pump and everything else. So the best way to do it is to change it out on a regular basis. In this case, it's been 45,000 miles or so since my last change, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change it now to get all that nasty stuff out. And keep in mind, one little short tidbit I did learn on power steering fluid is as it oxidizes, it darkens in color. Doesn't mean it's really bad, but it does darken as it oxidizes. So that might be why it looks black when you take it out. And then of course, as it does, it degrades. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and change this out now. All right, folks, we have gotten our lid off here, and we're going to stick that over here. And what I've done is I've gotten this little hose and bulb thing that I found at the auto parts store, and I'm going to stick that down in there because it should be able to get pretty deep in there. And then all I got to do is basically, hopefully, I can form some sort of suction on here. Get the suction going on it, and hopefully we can get the fluid out as we go. You notice this fluid is pretty red. It looks in good shape. Look how red this fluid is, folks. 45,000 miles on it. So I may not have a problem with the fluid. Remember, it was black last time? And compared to this time, we got this fluid out of here, and of course we'll go ahead and get as much out as we can and then fill it back up. Keep sucking it up until we can't get any. And then of course, I do like the fact that this stuff is nice and red. It is a nice red color. So I'm going to say that this fluid is in pretty good shape at this point. That 45,000 miles, who knows? We'll do this analysis on this and of course see what it actually is. But color isn't always something that you can gauge anything by. But in this case, I think we're doing a lot better being we got this red color going on, whereas it wasn't this way last time. It had like 90-some thousand miles on it, and it was in pretty bad shape. So we'll go ahead and, as you can see, look at that. Look at that fluid. Now, as you can see, I got this fluid in here. We'll go ahead and we'll dump this in here in this little kit and get this taken care of. Getting it out here. Don't want to make a big mess. But anyway, we got that in there. And we'll go ahead and set this off to the side and I'll fill out the paperwork. But we just put this in this little case and we send it off. Now that is interesting. What is interesting is the quality of the fluid that we got out of this. This here, look at how red this is. I'm going to pour a cup of the new stuff and I'm going to show you what the difference is. I want you to look at that. Look at those, okay? This is what I just took out. This is the new stuff. Look at that, hardly worn out. Very little oxidation is evident in it. And this is after 45,000 miles. So I'm just say this fluid is virtually good yet. I'm just going to add a little bit of new to it. I'm going to let it go for another 30,000 and see where it goes with that. But right now that's in pretty good shape, and I'll just delay my experiment here to change it all out here till later. And I'm just going to top this thing back off with a little bit of new and get this test results done to see where I'm standing as far as what is actually going on with this fluid. But I really wanted to do is check this all out, folks, okay? Wanted to make sure that this fluid is good. All right, we're just going to dump the new fluid in here, add a little bit in the cup, and we're just going to fill this back up here and get her filled. We'll get our little funnel in there and start filling it up. Top this thing off. And we'll go ahead and we'll put that cap back on there. We got her all nice and filled up again. Fluid levels are all full, so we're all good. Again, folks, 45,000 miles on this fluid. Nice and red yet. Really not much color change. Very little oxidation in this fluid on this Mercon LV that I did put in there. Now, again, I do want to remind and stress, Mercon V fluid is what you need to put in your power steering. I'm doing this as an experiment. I'm willing to pay the price of my power steering if it breaks. But so far, 45,000 miles of Mercon LV, and I'm not having any issues. So, it ain't a lifetime fluid. And again, the only way you're going to make it new is by changing it. And of course, apparently my maintenance is up to speed on this because again, that is 45,000 mile fluid. Topped it off, I'm going to check it again in about another 25 to 30. I think by that time it'll probably definitely need to be changed. Probably definitely, yeah, two good words to use. But anyway, I will know more because I will send this in and it will tell me how many more miles I might have left in this fluid when I get the report back from Blackstone. And of course, I will put it at the end of this video so you can see what the results are and also know when do I change my power steering fluid and how long will it last. But again, I use Max Life Mercon LV fluid and of course send this out through there. But remember, every day is a great day, folks, when you can take and put both feet on the floor. And I am having a great day today, and I want you to also. And remember, by all means, go over to Facebook. join our Facebook group. Lots of smart folks up there. We have Roger Armstrong, Elhard Meneses, and the guru himself. Yes, you know who he is. Manaran Tayal. So you want to make sure you do get a hold of all these folks, including myself. Ask us the questions, join the group, and enjoy the chit-chat that goes on about not only the Ford Edge, but all model years, and also just little tidbits about yourself. Just make it a good community group. But again, we always post videos on this MACTFORDEDGE page first, and then they go out to everybody else. But you also can sign up for YouTube. Remember, YouTube, Google Plus, right over here, and you can sign up there. And by all means, enjoy the sites, subscribe, and watch it. Well, folks, this is pretty much the end of testing out the power steering fluid. I did get the paperwork from Blackstone, and the oil tests was done on the power steering fluid, which happens to be the the Valvoline Max Life ATF LV equivalent fluid, and it's pretty much a universal fluid because you can use it as a Mercon V or LV as far as in your Ford, so it is safe to use in your power steering. Interestingly enough, at 45,000 miles, it shows very little wear, and as I saw in the video, really it's still red. Now, the point is, at what point will it begin its oxidation process? And as transmission fluid oxidizes, it darkens. So apparently this Max Life fluid is holding up pretty good to the heat. One note in the test was that there's a slight elevated amount of copper. Now, the power steering pump and everything else, there are wear metals in that, and one of those wear metals is copper. But as you can see, I'll post this up while I'm talking. You'll be able to read this and see that the elevated level is not considered high. Okay, so and keep in mind that this power steering system now has 146,000 miles of wear and tear on it. So there is bound to be some wear metals that are going to be happening in it. So overall, it's in really good shape. The viscosity as far as 100 degrees Celsius is a little bit higher, but Valvoline has contributed that to the fact that the shear is designed to be a Max Life type fluid. So the shear starts out a little higher, but it also does not degrade as fast. So that is their explanation of that in their literature as far as what's going on. But that being said, I'm not too unhappy at all with the power steering fluid as it is, because if you did look, okay, when I did the first video, the power steering fluid was definitely black, and as you can see, this stuff has not changed. Now I'm going to check it again and monitor it to see when it does start to darken up, because I'm really curious, when does the oxidation kick in? So we'll see when the oxidation really starts to kick in and the fluid starts to drop. I'll check it in about another 15,000 miles, which for me is about 3 more months. So I'll leave follow-ons onto my Facebook page, MACTFORDEDGE, on the process of when it actually does start looking brown and start changing color. Then we'll know the oxidation process will begin. And then we can gauge when do we change our power steering fluid. But right now, if you change it and you go about 45,000 miles, you're pretty good shape. You really don't need to change it at all, and it is staying in really good shape. So this will verify for all of you, when do I change my power steering fluid? Well, right now, if you're using the Valvoline Mercon LV ATF Max Life fluid, apparently it's good for at least 45,000 miles. And we're going to take it up to 60 and see where it's going, and then monitor from there, and then we can find that sweet spot we're all looking for. When do we really need to change our power steering fluid? But that's it, folks. I hope you learned something from it. And of course, I'll have this Blackstone here oil report posted up here at the very end, so you can pause it, look at it, whatever you want to do, as I also previously posted while I was talking. Well, that is it, folks. Remember, both feet on the floor, and you're having a great day, and I always have a great day. So, with that being said, remember, subscribe to YT for MACTFORDEDGE, and also hit that Facebook join button. That way you can get a hold of me and the other admins and get some good questions answered about your Ford Edge.
Thank you for watching